Welcome to the OhioRAAM Show.
Well, hello everyone. This is Jim Lawyer here, and we're bringing you this very special edition of the OhioRAAM Show. It's the 10-year anniversary. Hey, Lee, you started all this, didn't you?
I did. Didn't know what I was doing then. Don't know what I'm doing now for sure, but we just keep plugging along here.
There you go. Well, let's take a look on the very first show, on the very beginning, on how it started.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
How about that?
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
We got to hit play.
Boy, is anything going to happen? That's enough of that. You don't want to hear my voice. Yeah.
How times have changed.
Had the McFaddens on. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Great time then.
And we're all still around.
Yeah, and we come to you because of the wonderful people that operate our time stations here in Ohio. Time station 41 in Oxford, 42 in Blanchester, and 43 in Chillicothe, where Jim has a very new location, which
there you
all
go.
of the vegans and vegetarians are going to like.
Yep.
Because of all the fruits and vegetables there, and I think
definitely
it's a great place to stop. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good location for us.
Hey, 10th anniversary.
Yes.
I messed up getting us started on time, Jim.
I'm glad you caught that, because I did not. I saw it pop up, and I'm like, thank you, Lee.
I'm so excited. And
yes.
you'd think by now we know how to do this.
I know, and it's not like it's changing every day, but we forget.
Well, we want to thank Greg Zuber, the voice
yes.
of the OhioRAAM Show. Did you ever drive down the road, look on top of one of these water towers and see the red light up there and wonder who changes the light bulbs?
Yes.
Well, that's Greg.
No way. I did not know that.
He crawled up on top of one this week and changed the light bulbs down there on Smith Mill Road in Dayton. And
wow.
He always gets some nice pictures from on top. But Greg, if you're watching, you're just way too old to be doing that. Get somebody younger, for goodness sakes. Anyhow, all right. Well, listen, how long? What, 8 days till RAAM?
Let me bring that up.
Yeah.
We've got 8 days, 3 hours, almost 4 hours.
Oh, it's getting close here.
Yes.
And we just want to put the times. The solo races start on June the 14th in Oceanside, California.
Mm-hmm.
The teams start on the 18th. And in Ohio, they're here from Tuesday, June 20th through Friday, June 24th.
Yep.
Or
until the last rider comes through our time station.
Log dies.
Yes.
I guess I shouldn't say it that way, should I? Till the red lantern, what is it?
the caboose.
Yes. Goes through.
Yes.
But it's generally in those parameters.
Yes.
And if you'd like to see a lot of riders, here's a good place to come to our time stations.
Definitely.
I'm going to put on our website, I already have Jim's station, Google Map links to the location of the time stations. So if you want to find out exactly where they're at, just go to OhioRAAMShow.com and click on that link, and you can find out.
And there's the picture of it.
Yeah. It's up there just right below the photo at the top, and you can find it there.
Definitely.
We've decided the very best time here in Ohio to see a lot of riders, if you're not looking for one specific group, is probably around Thursday, June the 23rd. Maybe it'd be a little earlier in Oxford, a little later in Chillicothe, because there's about 100 miles between those time stations.
Yep.
And so that's a good one. Let's talk about Mike Minium, the sign man.
Let me pull that guy up.
He puts the signs up across Indiana, Ohio here, and he does a wonderful job. In fact, when our guest comes on, you'll see one of his signs there in the background, as you do in Jim's background.
Yep. Over that way.
If you stop by one of our time stations during the race, $10 will get you a sign.
Yep.
It'll help Mike put one out on the road. He loses
Definitely.
30, 40, 50 of those every year, so they have to be replaced, and they're not cheap anymore.
No, not at all.
Yeah, so also on the website is a link to Dex Took spreadsheets that tell you a lot about this year's racers. I have a print off here of the solo riders this year, but he also has the whole history of RAAM there on a spreadsheet, and it's a wonderful resource. You can find it there on the right-hand side of the website.
Definitely.
Okay, Jim.
Let's go ahead and do the updates real quick on RAAM 2022, this year's edition. I think a total of 67 entries between the solo and the teams. We've got 5 two-persons, 17 4, 9 8-person teams, and then 33 solos comprising 19 countries. And here's the breakdown of the countries. So we've got a very good mix this year. Thank goodness we're coming back strong.
Yeah, it looks like we're bringing a lot of people back.
Yes, definitely.
So be sure to make your comments, questions, tell us where you're from.
Yep.
Everybody who does will get their name put in a hopper.
Yep. And what are we doing today, Lee? What are we giving away?
Give them one of I don't have mine on.
I don't either.
One of my time station shirts
Yep.
on, actually. But we're going to give away OhioRAAM Show t-shirt.
Okay.
To some lucky person. And all you have to do is just put in a comment. Tell us where you're at. Also, comments and questions. We're going to be talking about the race. We'd like to hear some people risk making a prediction, Jim.
There you go. I heard that. I'm not going to.
Well, I'm not either. And I know
go.
our guest isn't going to. But let's...
hang on for 1 second. I've got one more thing to do. I want to congratulate Team Shivington. They were going for 4 world records this year and ended up getting 6, and they are official now through the World Ultra Cycling Association. Doug did the 200-kilometer track record, 300 track record, the 100-mile, 200-mile, and the 6 and 12-hour outdoor track records. Congratulations, Doug and team.
Okay, now this is going to be the last regular show of the season, actually. After RAAM, we're going to take a little hiatus here. There'll be things happening during the summer. We're going to be following some races where we have people who are going to help us make reports from them. I'm not going to give that list. I don't want to take time to do that.
Right.
Jim.
Okay.
But keep watching. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter. We'll keep things coming from you from time to time.
And we're going to do special reports from at least my time station for sure, and hopefully all the time stations here in Ohio.
Give a little special report from all the time stations. So be watching during RAAM. And if you're subscribe on YouTube, and be sure while you're there to ring that bell. And that's enough time taken out. Let's get on to Vic, don't you think?
All right, I think so.
Here we have Vic Armijo.
Hey, Vic.
Hey there. Thank you for saying it right, Lee. Armijo.
I don't know why that is the hardest name for me to get right. And I just, I never will, I don't think. How are you doing, Vic?
You got it this time.
There you go.
Up there in Juneau, Alaska.
Yes.
Yeah. We're having a beautiful day today.
Vic
that sounds great.
Head of RAAM Media, and you're getting ready to head out pretty soon, aren't you? To Oceanside.
Yeah. I've been busy sorting all my camera equipment and getting my stuff packed, and I like to get packed early and kind of think it over and come up with other ideas of things that I should bring, or it's just I hate last minute stuff.
Yep.
But, yeah. I'm almost ready.
Probably got big checklists.
Yep.
Well, let's talk a little bit about RAAM coverage this year, how you're going to cover it, and who you got working for you, et cetera.
Well, the key people are all returning. I've had Kurt Schellenberger with us. I think this is going to be probably his 5th RAAM. He's our extraordinary drone pilot. He's gotten some fantastic footage over the years. He'll be with me in Media One. Media One is the crew that rolls out with the solos, and we'll follow them all the way across. We've got a new driver with us this year, Bill, and we're looking forward to having a good race. And it's going to be sort of a play it by ear kind of year, with such a field of rookies. In the times when Mr. Strasser is here, I can pretty much know where we're going to be any
given point. Yep.
Yeah. It's like, oh, we're 40 minutes ahead of last year.
There you go.
Yeah.
So we got to be a bit more able to respond to an ever-changing race instead of something that's just a machine like Mr. Strasser. Media 2 will be Jen Magnuson. She's also been with us for a number of years. She's the ace photographer. We've got a new member of the team this year, Stephen Martin. He's also a very accomplished drone pilot and videographer. And then we've got in Durango, Tara Roberts, I think this is her 10th RAAM. She's been with us for a long time too.
Excellent.
She'll be going straight to Durango with her husband, Sean, who runs the Race Across the West finish line. So from there, she's able to cover RAW and then RAAM as it comes through. And then once RAW is over, that's about the time that Jen's crew will rendezvous with them. And then Stephen, the videographer, and the driver, they're done. And Jen joins Tara's crew, and they'll continue across the rest of the way. A little shorter than what we do in our full years, but to be honest, we're still dealing with budget constraints. I mean, most of these entries you see on the roster were paid for 2 and 3 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to next year and get back to a full crew of media to bring the coverage that we're used to bringing. Our goal these days is to get all the coverage, the photos, the captions, the written stories, and the videos up as soon as we can after they're completed. I do a written recap of the day before every morning for the solos, and then with the getting the videos and the other photos up as quickly as we can. That brings the fans at home news while it's still news.
Okay. Now, what's the best way for us to follow you? Vic?
The Race Across America Facebook page.
Okay.
That's the easiest platform for us to use. There's also the RAAM Media website, but that is usually several hours and sometimes even a day behind. The reality of us trying to upload stuff while in a moving van using
non-existent cell. Yep.
Yeah, it's just it's always a challenge, and if I had the budget to put satellite modems in every car, I would, but you should see Fred cringe whenever I say that.
Fred isn't going to go for that just yet, is he? Maybe next year, who knows?
Yeah.
So on the website, OhioRAAMShow.com, in the show notes right below this video, you will see a link to the Facebook page so you can follow it there, and we'll be looking forward to those reports. We always enjoy them quite a lot. I was just wondering, also on our website, we've got a link to the rules book. I always say, if you want to know how this race works, there's no better way to find out than read the rules. You'll learn a lot there. But I haven't had a chance to look at it, or I haven't taken a chance, I should say, to be accurate. Any significant rules changes of this year?
No, nothing new this year. We did a few things in 2019. The tracking units kind of bring in a few things that needed to be addressed. And then, of course, last year we had all the COVID protocol. and there's nothing special this year. We are doing a few things just in our operations a bit different. We're not having the in-person crew chiefs meeting or the media meeting. That's all on video. Still trying to avoid bringing a bunch of people into a closed-in room.
Definitely.
Last year we had the 2 minutes between riders. We'll be back to a minute between riders on the start.
Okay.
With a full field, that was needed too for that. With last year's limited field, it wasn't a big deal, but we like to get everybody out as quickly as possible.
Now, will you guys be covering the start live or anything?
Yeah.
Okay.
Our goal is to live stream the start. There's a challenge in that, in the way that the start line is located on the boardwalk at the ocean. We're below a bluff. So the cell signal doesn't make it over that bluff real well. And what happens a lot to us is we test, okay, we're good, we're solid, we're going to be able to live stream, but we're working off a cell signal, and suddenly we have a few hundred spectators there, and they're on their phones. There might be streaming video, and it just sucks up that bandwidth, and so the signal gets dropped, and we have to continually be monitoring it and putting it back up.
Right.
One of the reasons I'm getting there a little early this year is that the building there where we would always have check-in, that's been taken over as a Oceanside Police substation.
Oh.
And I've talked with the chief of police there, who is Fred Armijo, a member of Team Oceanside, the 8-rider team, a few times. And he put me in touch with their IT department, and they're going to work with us and hopefully come up with a way that we can tap into one of their internet lines to where we can be hardwired or connected to a modem there and not have to rely on Wi-Fi signal.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, because that's just so nice for the fans at home to be able to watch that start. And we always record it so that in case it does get dropped, we can upload it later, but that doesn't happen promptly.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and those times, I believe it's 12 noon here in Ohio. It starts at 9 a.m. there in California, I believe, doesn't it? To start.
No, it's 12 noon here.
12 noon here, so it's 3. I get that right. And we should say, I know we do have some people watching who are kind of new to RAAM, that the times you see on the leaderboard, and those links are on our website as well, is always Eastern Standard.
Right.
So, and it's 24-hour time. So keep that in mind. No matter where the racer happens to be in the United States, they'll be recorded. So you can kind of keep track of times a little easier that way. And also, while I'm talking here, let's hear what you think about RAAM 2022 out there. Give us a comment.
Yeah.
What do you think about it? Who you think might be a winner? Who you're going to be interested in watching, et cetera, and get your name. You might get one of these wonderful OhioRAAM Show T-shirts, which everybody wants but cannot be bought in stores.
There you go.
So we can work that out for you.
Definitely.
Okay. Vic, Raw is interesting this year. We've got some strong names in Raw. A lot of people coming for Raw that you might normally expect in RAAM.
Yeah, let me pull up my my Raw roster. I had the RAAM roster up, but let me just take me a moment here. The women's race. I mean, Jen Orr, she was on fire a couple of years back. She had some physical setbacks. She was supposed to be doing RAAM already. I think, of course, we had the COVID cancellation. She came back out for our 6-12 24-hour time trial world championships. It wasn't up to her full fitness, but she was out there riding her heart out and putting a good ride. So she's in the under 50 class. And then in the 50 to 59, we've got Maria Vasquez. You've had her on the show before. She's got a lot of experience with Raw and RAAM. She's been on crews and she knows ultra cycling. She used to put on the Betty's Challenge, I think it was called. And then, of course, Leah Goldstein, our overall solo winner last year. Of course, she is a past RAW winner, too. So the three women in the 50 to 59, Maria Sylvia Moss, who's also a past RAW winner. That's going to be a close battle.
Yep, it'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and then Jen too. I mean, it's going to be interesting. In the solo men, we have Fabio Silvestri, he's put in some really good rides at the 612-24. He usually does in the mid to high 400 miles in the 24 hours. Giovanni Prosperi, he was on the two-rider team last year. The Swiss team, I expect to see something good out of him. I mean, he did entire RAAM last year, and so now he knows what the course looks like. He knows how to pace himself, and he could make a mark in the under 50. Andres Rodriguez, he's back. He's a past RAAM finisher. It took him 2 tries at RAAM to finish, and he's done RAW before, and so he'll make a good showing, I'm sure, at RAW. In the 50 to 59, Lamdo, we've seen him on teams before. I don't recall him doing anything solo. But also in the 50 to 59 is the man who could take home the whole show, Marco Ballo.
Yes.
I mean, he's got, 7 RAAM finishes out of 9 or 10 starts?
I believe so, yes.
He's got second place in RAAM a few times. Some of his second place finishes would have won RAAM in some years. He's a past RAW winner. And, he's done Oceanside to RAW more times than anybody doing this race this year. So if anybody knows how to pace himself for 928 miles, it'll be Marco. Marco's the only 5-time member of the 500 Club at the 612 24-hour World Time Trial Championships. 5 times he's logged more than 500 miles in 24 hours.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And then you got Joe Barr coming.
Joe Barr, yeah. Joe Barr is he's done RAAM twice. Twice or 3 times. It's either 2 starts, 1 finish, or 3 starts, 2 finishes. And he's a former pro road racer. He's in his 60s now, but he's still a tough cookie. He's won some events against riders half to a third of his age in the past couple of years. And again, here's somebody who knows the terrain between Oceanside and Durango, and that's where some of the toughest climbs are of RAAM, other than the Appalachians. And Joe's got a very special relationship with gravity.
Yes, he does.
what does he weigh? 118 pounds?
It's about 25 pounds in this.
There you
like
go.
That. Yeah. It's going to be an interesting thing. And thanks, Georgie, and thanks for your comments. We appreciate those. By the way, I couldn't figure out what was wrong with my camera alignment, and the pneumatic tube in my chairs kept sinking down. I was getting lower and lower.
I don't want to leave out Hervé Talabardon.
Yes.
The entrant in our 75 plus category.
Definitely.
He holds the record for in the 60 to 69 category for RAAM. And he came back a couple of years after setting that, wanting to be our first 70 plus finisher.
Yes.
In his first attempt, he took a spill, I think it was in Kansas, and hurt his hip, continued on. It wasn't happening. Came back a year or 2 later, and that hip that he fell on was giving him trouble, and he pulled out again. So he DNF'd twice trying to be that first 70 plus finisher, but he's going to be back at RAW to be the first RAW 75 plus finisher. So
Definitely.
I got faith in him. I think he'll pull it off.
I agree. Excellent.
Well, let's move on to RAAM a little bit and look at that field. we were talking before we went on the air. An awful lot of rookies. I
Yeah.
find how many did you say, Jim? 33.
I believe so. Yes.
In all that group, if I look at Dex's spreadsheet correctly, there's only 5 persons in there that have ever finished RAAM.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's several people that have ridden before, but they had not finished. So it's anybody's race, Vic.
It is. It is. I mean, I'm looking at the under 50 men, which is usually our premier category, and the past finisher with the fastest finish is Svata Bozak.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a solid finish, but it was 10 days and 15 hours, 11.71 mile an hour average. I mean, kudos to him, but that's not what you would think of as a winning time for RAAM.
Right.
And Kabir Rashur, he's got a past finish, and that was a 11-day and change finish, 10.71 miles per hour. The only other starter in the under 50 with past RAAM experience is Christian Madoui from France, and that was 2018. And that was a heartbreak. He got within 70 miles of the finish line and timed out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Among these rookies, a lot of people, including Christoph Strasser, whose opinion on unknowns I always respect, Rainer Steinberger. Here's a guy he's a former triathlete, which so many of our newcomers are.
Yep.
But he's won some big events. He's won the race around Austria, the race across Germany. He's won the Glocknerman. He was supposed to have been with us 2 years ago, I think. And just everything that we've gone through, we haven't seen him here yet. Another strong rider is Sebastien Sassaville from Canada. He's another one of these guys who is taking on RAAM, who's also climbed Mount Everest. You can count Wolfgang Fasching in that exclusive club. He's ridden across Canada. He's taken 6 days to go across Canada, and he's done some other Ironman events and endurance events. Lionel Poggio is interesting. He's the one who he won Tour in 2016, and he's won Tour or finished Tour like 5 times. Past winner Tour. Of course, we've had some RAAM winners who've come after winning Tour. Reto Schock, of course. In his win of Tour in 2016, he passed Dizzy Viscourt.
Mm-hmm.
Not too many people can pass Dizzy and ride away from him.
Definitely. Yep.
So that raises my eyebrows right there that this guy could surprise us.
I believe he's going to be the first RAAM entrant from Portugal. Is that?
No, he's from Switzerland.
Oh, he's Switzerland. Okay, I got the wrong person in mind.
Yeah, we've got an American entrant. Hey, Phil Fox.
Yes.
Yeah, he was second in the virtual RAAM year before last.
Yeah.
He's done some U.S. events. Dex is No Country for Old Men. He took second there. Let's see, Simon Potter, the guy who won virtual RAAM. He's shown himself to have some speed.
Mm-hmm.
Martin Natiske, I guess it would be, from Germany. He got third in the race across Germany a couple of years back, so he's got some speed, and he's done some other endurance events. Of course, he's a rookie here, so who knows. James Golding from the UK. He's has a lofty goal. He wants to be the first rider from the UK to win RAAM. More power to him for coming in with a bold attitude, but we'll see if his legs can deliver.
There you go.
Yeah, he's done some other events. I think he did RAW a year or 3 ago. Yeah, he did RAW in 2019 and took third. going to need to up his speed a bit if he wants to win RAAM.
Mm-hmm.
Graham Mackin from Ireland. He was on a 2-person RAAM team, so he knows what he's facing. But that 2-person team did a finish of 8 days and 15 hours. That's as a solo, he's going to need to up his game a bit.
Pick it up a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, 8 days, 15 hours. That some years that wouldn't beat Strasser as a solo.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right.
Yes.
We've got our first ever entrant from Latvia, Arvis Rude. He's a regular road cyclist. He's been on pro teams, and he's a past Latvian national road champion and time trial elite rider. And he's won the race around Poland, which is a 3,600 kilometer event. And he's finished the Giro d'Italia nonstop. That's the event where they ride the Giro route as an ultra event. We've got another RAW veteran, Paolo Ghidardi from Italy. He did RAW in 2018, 3 days and 13 hours. That's any finish is respectable, but that's not a RAW winning finish. We'll see what he can do. In the 50 to 59, we've got only one entrant who has done RAAM before, and that's Jim Trout. And he did RAAM way back in 2005.
Right.
He was out last year, was doing a solid ride, and just had a number of minor problems just kind of pile up on him, and he DNF'd, I don't know, maybe 2/3 of the way through. He's a fun guy. I got to know him back in 2006. The year after he did RAAM, he came and crewed for Tinker Juarez, which was my entrance into RAAM. I was on that crew also. Alan Jefferson, he came out in 2019 and DNF'd. Interesting guy. I really liked the way the year before he did his first RAAM, he came out and volunteered in Oceanside.
Yes, and he did the whole route and learned things. That was awesome. Yes.
What a great way to, not dip your toe in the water, but to jump right in.
Yep, and he brought his crew chief also with him that year.
Yeah.
So they learned together. So that was awesome.
The 60 to 69, that's going to be interesting. The standouts, of course, are going to be Joe Barr and Valario. I'm sorry. I'm Barr's in RAW. I don't know. I got him on the wrong list here. But Valario is, of course, I'm looking at 10 different RAAM starts here. He's going to be tough to beat in the 60 to 69 RAAM. The women's field, of course, Nicole Reist. Now here's our only past RAAM finisher with a sub 10-day finish.
I was going to say, of all the finishers in today's course, she has the best time.
Yeah. 9 days, 23 hours. So,
we can have a repeat again last year. Yes.
We're actually looking at possibility of a woman winning the overall RAAM 2 years in a row.
And that would be awesome.
This will be her third RAAM. Her first was 2016. She came in and did an 11-day finish, and then came back and upped her game so much to do a 9-day, 23-hour finish. Let's see if she might even be faster this time.
Yep.
Frankly, when I saw her in 2018, now she was already a very slightly built woman in 2016, and she was so thin. I was concerned for her. It's like, usually you see these racers come in, with an extra 5 or 8 pounds from what
their
prime weight, because they're going to lose it. And she had nothing to lose. And boy, she impressed me and kind of put that theory that you have to have some extra pounds on it to start to bed, because she rode solid all the way through. Ellen Starup from Denmark, she's back. She was here in 2019, did 2,300 miles before. Was she timing out, or was it?
I believe it was a timeout situation.
Yeah, yeah. And then Dorina Vaccaroni from Italy, she's back. Yeah, last year she did time out. She did ride all the way in, but boy, the heartbreaking. She timed out when she was at Rouserville, which you can
Throw a
you can
stone.
practice
Yep.
See the
you can practice
silos from
know the
there.
ocean
Yeah.
from there. You know.
Yeah. Well, we're glad to have Team Skydog and Mrs. Skydog check in here. They're at
Yes.
Borrego. A lot of people are, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're going to be following Soren with his crew chief is going to be sending us reports along. Thank you for that.
Yes.
I think it's his son is crew chief, actually, or at least family member. And he's already sent us one report from Denmark. Did a great job, and we love that because we just sit back and let the files roll in, unlike Vic, who has to be out there. How you do that while you're bouncing down the road, Vic, is beyond me. I mean,
Practice.
I sit here at a fixed desk that isn't moving, except
for
my
your chair. There
except
you
my
go.
chair's tilted down. And I have trouble getting my pointer on the right spot. That's amazing. It's amazing what you people do, and you do it on such little sleep, such poor signal coverage in so many parts of the country.
Yeah.
We really appreciate that.
This is my 15th year, and as I was saying earlier, most of my people are, at least 5 years, and like Tori's case, 10 years, and that's what I've tried to keep on my media crew are people who have a passion for the race.
Yes.
Right.
Right. It's easy to hire a photographer or a videographer. Finding somebody who knows RAAM, loves RAAM, and is willing to go that extra distance.
There you go.
I'm so fortunate to have these great people.
That's awesome. How does the heat affect your crew and the media coverage out there in the West?
It can be tough. I mean, we're in an air conditioned van, of course, but a lot of times we have to get out for a while. Sometimes you don't know when that rider's coming, and you got to get me set up for your shot. Kurt, the videographers, they're out there getting themselves set up. They're standing in the heat, flying their drones. They got to be out where they can see it. Of course, we jump right back in. We always usually have the driver leave that van running so we can come back in and get our body temperature back under control.
Yes.
We put in long days. I'm always up at 5 o'clock, no matter what time zone we're in. And the first thing I do is grab some coffee and take a look at the tracking and the leaderboard and figure out what's what, and then write up that morning report and let my crew sleep another hour or so. And then I get them up and, all right, this is what we're doing today. Because at that point, I've already studied all that. I know who's ahead of us, who's behind us, and what would be the best use of our time and finding the stories.
Definitely. You do a great job. Every year it gets better and better.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. We can remember back in the days when we didn't know anything that was going on and had no way of finding out except this phone call that cost you, $1.98 or something like that. And by the time you got it, it was 36 hours old and totally meaningless. And so... Well, thanks, Jane. We appreciate that. We appreciate the fact people do appreciate what we try to do here as best we can.
Yeah, we got a lot of loyal watchers on tonight, so that's great.
Yeah. There's people coming back again, and if you haven't made a comment, make it pretty quick here because there's some lag between the time you make a comment and you get your name in this hopper for a T-shirt. We'd hate to keep giving it to the same people over and over again. Maybe that's why you have to do it. I don't know.
We're going to have to start giving autographed Lee Kreider T-shirts away.
Yeah, well, we did that for a couple of mouse pads, but well, we won't do that. We won't subject anybody to that.
Vic, you had something you were going to say? Sorry.
Yeah, if I may, I'd like to take a minute to let the crew chiefs and the crews out there in on how they can improve the coverage that their racer or their team is getting. understand we've got 3 vans out there that are going to be spread out. It's not unusual at all for there to be 500, 600, 700 miles between first place and last place. We can't be everywhere. But if you're on a crew and you've got a decent eye for taking a photo with your phone or a real camera, and you can send that to me within a few hours of it being shot, and then either call me or send me an email of what's going on, I'll take that and turn it into a story and make a post out of it.
That'd be awesome. We'll do the same thing from the time station for you.
Yeah. Just if you've got a photo, again, I don't really want a photo from 2 days ago, but if it's today or yesterday, send it to Vic at raceacrossamerica.org. Send me an email of what's going on.
Who, what, where, and when.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, we left time station 22. The stomach issue he had for the last 100 miles seems to be over. We're in good spirits. We haven't had any flats, whatever. That's just an example. But yeah, give me some words. I've got my media guide that I compile on each and every racer and each and every team. So I already know where that rider's from, their background, what races they've done, if they're riding for this foundation or that foundation. I can take that 3 or 4 sentences you sent me and turn it into 300-400 word interesting post that the fans at home want to see.
Awesome.
Great. Well, like I said, we're going to be following Team Skydog. Actually, we've been looking for one other team to follow across the country. I think it's kind of interesting to take one team and just follow them through the whole race, like that. We've got a couple stringers out. I don't know if they're going to materialize or not because people got more things to do on these teams than send us videos. But if you got a little extra time, somebody can do that. That's great. We'll be willing to work with you on that. Jim, I think we ought to give something away.
All right. And it's going to be a wonderful T-shirt, if I am correct.
Yeah.
Let me get that pulled up, and let me get to that tab. Tim Skipper just posted. Hang on, let me get him in there.
And thanks, Tim, for the congratulations. If you didn't post, I was going to call you out on it. And
there you go.
Tell you get your name on here.
Yeah, Tim, last year I was able to talk to a couple of your people a couple of times, and that's how the stories that we put up about you came to be.
There
you guys are too far ahead of us.
Yep.
Blessed are they who toot their own horn, for verily it shall be tooted.
There you go. And give a good shout out to our great friends at Spiegel Bikes. And Georgie's out there today.
Let's see who comes up today.
Hi, Vesna.
Soren. He gets another T-shirt.
Awesome.
Doggone it. Well, we'll give it to him. Vic, I have said before that Race Across America people and ultracyclists in general do the best job of keeping their stories hidden from everybody I've ever seen. And, we both have the same gripe. Hey, if you're on a team, get out there and get some information up on the RAAM website so we know how we can find you. I mean, tracking you people down.
Exactly.
For us.
It happens every year. I get a complaint from a fan at home. You haven't covered so-and-so, and I'll send them a screenshot of the bio they sent.
Yeah, nothing. No pictures, no nothing. I said once the FBI got in touch with me to see how they could improve their witness protection program because we could hide our riders away so well.
There you go.
But, that's us media people griping, Vic.
Yep.
Definitely.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot, Vic, for being with us.
Yes.
You're a busy person, I know. I think you've done this kind of thing with us how many times in the past? But
I don't know. Probably 8 or so.
Yeah. Yep. And we appreciate that sign back there.
Definitely.
And you can get one of those at our time stations for $10 a donation to help Mike keep that program going here in Ohio.
Yes.
When I moved out here to Juneau, Well, I had two of those when I moved here to Juneau. You'll remember Janice Schofelt, the woman who won RAAM back in 2015. Well, she's from Juneau.
Yes, I know.
And she was a big help in a go-to person before we moved here.
Yeah.
And so she's now got one of those on her garage wall.
Awesome.
I presented her with that when,
Good.
when we went over to dinner at her place when we first got here.
Well,
Excellent.
we can't ship them, sadly. It's just too much expense to try to ship them so they won't break. But you get yourself at one of our time stations, get one of those, get yourself a selfie Sharpie pen, collect some autographs on it, and that'll be a great thing.
Definitely.
Thanks, Vic, for being with us. Thanks, everybody, for watching.
Yep. And we look forward to seeing you at our time stations, Vic.
I'll be there.
Definitely.
Hang around for a few seconds afterwards, Vic, and we'll chat, de-escalate a little bit. Okay?
Okay.
Thank everybody for watching.
Let's see if we can't. We got another comment there that we haven't posted, Jim.
Just one from Mr. Skydog.
Oh, see us out there. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Very good. Well, okay. Thanks again, everybody. And here's not only Greg Zuber, who is not changing a light bulb on top of a water tower right now. He's going to say goodbye.
This is Gregory Zuber, thanking you for watching and sharing.
Music by Kevin MacLeod.